At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps.
laughing about your movie, why I made a curator's pick of the Hollywood Fringe Festival. Community, heart, you're doing it.
Observations TFR 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday.
What's going on, people? Welcome to another great episode of Observations TFR. It's Stock Wednesday. That's right, it's Stock Wednesday. What's the topic? The commodity Afrika. The phone lines will be open 213-943-3358, 213-943-3358. When you dial in, use the touch tone, press 1. We'll know that you will want to do more than just listen, but you will want to get into the conversation, right? We want to say what's up to the people watching us on Vimeo, on FB, on You Found the Spot, and consciousness, politics, entertainment, and females, and of course on the Film Review Live channel on YouTube. Make sure that you like, follow, subscribe where you're at, right? Make sure the platform that you are watching us on, you like, follow, subscribe, share. Matter of fact, tag 5 of your friends in this broadcast right now. Let them know that we are on. Repost this broadcast on some of your pages to let people know that we are on, because we are going places like we always go every day, disseminating information that is very important to the people. What's up to Gary D. James? Thanks. He said, we're dope. He is the infamous DJ Remix. You know what I mean? All right. So without further ado, while they're trying to clip us so early because we disseminate information that they do not want people to know about, before we go any further, let me introduce you to my co-host, my special co-host, my sister Tonya M. Congress. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning, D. I'm doing fine this morning. A little bit of ground cover with the snow out here. I know y'all don't have to deal with that, and I am godly envious of the fact that you don't have to deal with the snow or the cold. The older I get, the less amicable I am to this situation. So my knees and joints and stuff are not appreciative of the cold weather. But I'm doing okay this morning. I am excited to be here. Thank you, all of our listening audience that are tuning in today. You posted an announcement this morning. I just want to, because we're on, I just want to make it plain this morning. We came in. Now, listen, I want y'all to understand the spot. You Found the Spot started January 3rd. It started January 3rd. So we're not out of the month of January. We're in at number 4 for podcasts and entertainment. Now, you know how we do. I know a lot of y'all know D, a lot of y'all know me. Both of us are the kind that likes the number 1 spot. We like number 1. We like number 1. So you know we're going for number 1. Keep lending us your ears. Keep hitting share and like. Keep hitting the Cash App button. Keep supporting our causes. And we have a new cause today as well that D is going to, we talked about it yesterday. I want to talk about it again today. We have another t-shirt in addition to the one we have right here that so beautifully complements the background. And D has his on. We have masks, matching masks to accommodate the perils of the day. So we are consistent with what's going on as far as keeping ourselves safe and protected. We are advocates of health. So we do have masks for purchase And we also have the green t-shirts, and we have a matching mask for the green t-shirts as well. But we have another new shirt, and we announced it yesterday, having to do with making permanent changes to our health and getting our bodies ready. And I needed to bring that up real quick so that I could read. Well, if you can read what that says under you see what it says, steadfasting. If you know what steadfast is, it means to be in place. It means unmovable. It means to be like a pillar. It means to be stationary. It means to be strong and rooted. So it's a play on words there, because it's being steadfast, but then in order to be steadfast as an individual, we have to begin to see food from a different position. Food was mainly meant for sustenance, not for pleasure. Now, I know that's a cuss that I just cussed for a lot of y'all, to say food is not for pleasure, it's for sustenance. So I'm not saying that we can't eat things that taste good. We can eat things that taste good, but we're going to have to retrain our taste buds to get away from that highly seasoned, highly salted food. And we're going to have to understand that our bodies are meant to, they were designed to heal themselves. But if we don't put the right things in them, they won't heal. So the purpose of fasting is to keep our body in a constant healing and maintenance state of being healed, right? And there's a writing below steadfasting. D, can you read that?
Of course. It says, I stay steadfast to my goals, humble to kneel and pray, while preparing my body for the journey ahead. I am, therefore I am. Take your QR code scanners on your cell phone, scan this QR code, and it takes you straight to our fundraiser. We appreciate you. Please purchase one of these steadfasting shirts. The steadfasting shirts to help us in our endeavors to continue to expand quality programming on the spot. Hashtag you found the spot, right? So without any further ado, let's get into what we get into. Let me bring this down, move this over, because our purpose for these 2 hours is to disseminate information concerning Stock Wednesday, the commodity Afrika. That's right. Good morning to Stuart Elsie. I see that you're watching. Listen, Stock Wednesday, the commodity. Have you begun your financial portfolio yet? They are clipping us. Remember, what may harm or help you, you should have stock in. It's Stock Wednesday. Crazy D and his special guest host Tonya M Congress talk the commodity, and they look at stocks many of us should have stock in, including the everyday things we use. We talk Afrikan Oil, the commodity. Phone lines are open. 213-943-3358. 213-943-3358. Tanya, let's do some definitions real quick. Let's look up commodity. Let's look up commodity, and then after commodity, we're going to look up holding, right? Holdings, excuse me. So let's look up commodity first, and let's give that definition of what a commodity is. Do you have it?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Here we go.
Okay, a commodity is a basic good used in commerce that is interchangeable with other goods of the same type. Commodities are most often used as inputs in the production of other goods or services. They are traded on an exchange. Commodities must also meet specified minimum standards, also known as a basis grade.
basis grade. Now let's look up holdings. Let's get these definitions. It's very important that we have these definitions this morning. You know, Stock Wednesday. We want to give this definition before we get into the memes, because you know the memes warm up the discussion that we're going to have. Do you have holdings?
Yes. Holdings are stocks, property, and other financial assets in someone's possession. You ever see a company that says Conair Financial or Conair Real Estate Holdings, Conair Financial Holdings?
That's right. That's right. Okay, people. So we are talking about your portfolio, but to warm it up first, we have to warm it up first with some memes. You know, here's an announcement that no one really wanted to necessarily hear, but matter of fact, coming from announced on the Mad Mix show, R.I.P. I'm Your Puppet legend dies from COVID-19 complications in Pensacola, Florida. Who wrote I'm Your Puppet? Tonya, if you look that up real quick. Because a lot of people should be using that song, like, I'm your puppet. Do anything. You got me on the string. I'm your
James
puppet.
Purefoy.
Oh, go ahead. Say it again.
James Purify.
Yes. He passed on. You know, legend. COVID-19 complications. How old was he, by the way? How old was he when he passed on?
It says here he was. Wait a minute. I have to look it up another way.
They make it complicated these days. Like, you know, usually they just have it.
He was
right
76.
there. He was 76 years old. He hadn't even made it to the 80s. He was one of the young ones, right? So we want to say condolences and rest in heaven to him, because people got a lot of enjoyment from out of that song in particular. All right. Here's another meme that leads into what we're talking about, stocks. Also, I want to shout out to Stu. I don't know if he was listening or watching yesterday, but he requested that we put the images in front, and so we accommodated his request to make the presentation even stronger. Okay. So now, this meme reads, your significant other says they're spending $25 on Valentine's Day dinner. Where are you going? And here are your choices. The question coming from our friends over there at Hollywood Unlocked. So, where are you going for $25 on Valentine's Day? Which one would you suppose that you would go to, you know, for $25? Which one would you choose? Which one would you think would put you right in that budget and you would get change?
Both Applebee's and Chili's have a 2 for $20, 2 meals for $20, that I think includes dessert. And I think Olive Garden has something too where, no, it's not a 2 for $20. You buy one and get one of the same that's frozen. So that wouldn't be Olive Garden. So it's either going to be Applebee's or Chili's.
You said Applebee's, Chili's. You said Mickeys and Arby's are just totally out of the question because you could get a lot more on that dollar menu for $25. You get you a couple of this, a couple of that, a couple of this. No, no.
I also get some gas too. I have plenty of gas too.
Say that again. Say that again.
I say, yeah, I can also get plenty of gas on number 2 and number 3 too for $25.
Okay. So what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 have in common as far as what we talk about on Stock Wednesday? Chili's, Mickey D's, Arby's, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, world famous in California, LA in particular, and Inglewood. Olive Garden and Applebee's, what they all have in common, the question we would ask, you are eating there. You are spending your money to eat at these various restaurants. Do you have stock in these restaurants? That is the big question, the $1 million question on Stock Wednesdays. Do you have stock in these restaurants? Now, here's one that my sister posted, right? And it reads, be the same person privately, publicly, and personally. Be the same person privately, publicly, and personally. What do you have to say about that?
Simply put, that's called integrity. You know, I know people that they change faces depending on who they're dealing with and stuff like that. And sometimes the change of faces also comes with different deceptions, different deceptive practices. And those kind of people is hard. They're hard for me to stomach. I can't really deal with them. So I keep a distance with them because I'm the type of person that I'm going to blow your cover. I'm going to blow it because I don't like that. Especially if it's anything that I'm involved in and you're manifesting that type of behavior. So it is so liberating and so freeing just to be you. Now, not that all of us have room for improvement, self-improvement, and things like that, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who are not, they just don't have any character. They don't have any integrity. But it's so liberating just to be the authentic you that you are, even while you're yet in process and have things to improve, just being the true you. And not having to change masks and change faces, that gets very exhausting. I don't know how they do it. I really don't.
Don't know how they do it. Let's keep moving here. All right, here's one. Here's one. Black people will never have, oh wow, I said black and they clip. Black people will never have unity until you let go of religion. Now, this person at the top of the meme, I should have kept that part, but he said Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Buddhism, etc., etc. Black people will never have unity until you let go of religion. And what I've always said and how I always lived it was, 1, live and let live. 2, I said there are similarities in each religion, and you deal with what that is, but our greater purpose. We talked about this. It's funny how these memes come up, because we talked about this last week on the show, where I said who we are, what we are, and who we are as American Black people is enough. Everybody wants to be something else. I'm an African, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Jew, I'm this, I'm that, Wow, they're clipping us on words. But anyway, who we are, and what we are is enough. For those people who say that they're Christians, when are you going over to Jerusalem? For those people who say that they're Muslims, when are you going to Mecca? Oh, wow. When are you going to Mecca? Oh, we're getting a little hot and heated, and they're clipping us on these things. For all those people who are Jewish, well, you know, who are black Jewish, when are you going to the Wailing Wall? All of those, and of course, my favorite to always talk about. The phone lines are open 213-943-3358 because we are talking about the commodity Africa. Did you know that they found a large oil basin in Africa that is not in the traditional place? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Smash the share button, smash the like button. How come you don't have, you love Africa, how come you don't have that? And while people are talking about the Keystone Pipeline and not having the Keystone Pipeline, people who are investing in Africa right now, people who are invested in Africa right now are coming home or going to take home more than guap. They're going to take home more than guap. Okay? So, my favorite of all, I like to say, you're African, you're American black, you've never stepped on African soil, or maybe you went there on vacation, you know, and they took you to the tourist attraction where they said, brother, but you never really went to where the get down really gets down. When are you leaving? You are African. When are you leaving? Because what we have done in this country, who we are and what we are, is enough. I have to say it again. What we have done in this country, who we are and what we are, is enough. And once people really study about what we have really done, they can leave the low self-esteem at the door.
Let me say something to
Go ahead.
that. Regarding that, that's absolutely right. Let me explain something to you briefly. I came through what was traditionally known as Christianity, and I served in a formal ministry for close to 15 years in that environment and given to that environment. But it wasn't until I stepped out of the environment that I really started hearing from God on another level. See, and a lot of you guys are going to be angry and upset, but to my credit, you know, I was well versed, so not a novice in scripture and things like that. So actually, the more you study the scripture, the more liberating it is from the church environment, because it was never supposed to be that way in the first place. The religion of Christianity, as well as others, were put in place for political and financial control over the people. And basically a buffet of tastes has been created for whatever is going to fit our palate to grab onto. And you notice that now that things are going on the way they're going on in the world, you guys got a lot of questions now. Why would God allow this? Why would God allow that? Why would God allow this? And God, the creator of the universe, is looking at you saying, I gave you dominion. I said, be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, subdue it, and have dominion. So I'm sitting here with my legs crossed and my arms folded, wondering, why would God allow that down on earth? I'm inside you. Why are you allowing that? Why are you allowing the things that are going on in the earth. But because of your attitude and your disposition towards religion and what the religion represents and what God represents in your life, you're waiting for him to come from the sky and perform all of these different things. And the power is within you to make the change. If you notice the successful people of the world who have a vertical relationship with God and allow God to dwell within them, they're successful people. They don't go around bragging and boasting about it. They just do what they do, and they're not sitting around being religious and prideful of the religion they believe in. That's only half the story. So I had to condense that. Don't be upset. Look into it. If you need to get in touch with me, you can get in touch with me by way of here through the chat or whatever, and I'll make a way for you to reach me so we can dialogue. But you're going to have to come out of that because it's going to keep you as a sitting duck, and you're not going to have what you need mentally to get through this time.
Won't be able to have what you need mentally to get through this time. We want to shout out to all the people who are listening and watching us right now. Here's the next meme, which kind of follows in line with that. A major part of manifesting is believing you're worthy of what you're asking for. A major part of you got me laughing here. Manifesting is believing you're worthy of what you're asking for. Now, I thought that was a really, 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 really great meme. And I said, let me grab that and bring that. We're talking about African commodity. We're talking about African oil. Did you know that they found a basin? Not in the usual place, which means you might say, well, dang, no wonder that certain strand. But we're going to get to that. Smash the share button, smash the like button. We have information to disseminate to you today. Now, did you know that Twitter has been banning people? Twitter has been banning people left and right. They've been banning people left and right. And they have this new thing called, I wrote it down, it's called, what is it called? Civic Integrity Policy. Let me say it again. It's called Civic Integrity Policy. According to the policy, the more violations a person commits, the more severe the ban. 2 strikes result in a 12-hour lock, for example, while 5 or more strikes can result in what the company calls a permanent suspension. They are suspending people's accounts. People. Twitter is suspending people's accounts because they are telling people basically that we don't want to hear what you have to convey in the written word unless it goes along with what we believe to be true. Oh, they're clipping. What they believe, oh wow, listen to that. What they believe to be true. This civic integrity policy. The civic integrity policy. This is very authoritative, totalitarian. It's basically breaking up freedom of speech. Like, people may think it's cool now that they banned the My Pillow guy. But when you say something that they don't like and they ban you, you won't like it too well. That's what I'm going to say. You will not like it too well. Smash the share button, smash the like button. We are talking about the commodity with Afrika. Wow, they're really going into it. Okay, people. Here's another meme I thought was interesting. I used to think that communication was key until I realized comprehension is. You can communicate all you want to someone, but if they don't understand you, it won't reach them the way you need it to. Let's say it again. I used to think that communicate. Why are they clipping it? Clipping, boy, these memes are hitting at something that they don't want you to know. So heed this. Smash the share button, smash the like button. Good morning to Tracy Trace. Good morning, good afternoon. I used to think that communication was key until I realized comprehension is. You can communicate all you want to someone, but if they don't understand you, it won't reach them the way you need it to. You see, I used to produce rap groups, and I would sit there and talk to them about the plans. Now, I don't know individuals. And then we would sit down again, and they would say, "You never said that." I'm thinking to myself, now, is this plausible deniability because they just want to get one over? Or were they intoxicated on something that I didn't know they were fucking intoxicated on? I'm telling you, I will sit and talk to people, and I am, in my opinion, a great communicator. I can put a subject and an object together. You know, throw a noun, adjective, a pronoun in there, and you know, I can construct a sentence. I have pretty good, fair to excellent phraseology, right? Not trying to slick anyone, just phraseology, the ability to construct the spoken word as well as paper to the pen or home keys, fingers to the home keys, putting down and conveying information. I'm pretty proficient at it. So I have seen that a lot out here too. Now I was talking about Cleveland people then, but I've seen a lot of that out there out here in Las Vegas. You will sit there and discuss with the person, and you will lay it out, and then they will come back and say, "I don't remember you said that." So, you know, long time ago, back in Cleveland, I said, "Oh, no worry about it. You know, my ability to write, we will just agreements. So you will have your copy, I will have my copy, and we will know what was said because there it is in the agreement." I don't like to use the word contract because there's a con in the contractual agreement. So there's a con. I don't believe in doing cons. I believe in doing agreements. So agreements are just like contracts, right? So an agreement between two people who come together in sound mind and body. Once I wrote up those contracts, they said, "Hey, here it is right here, buddy. It says right here, right there, right there." Now, you know what I found out here in Las Vegas, though? Nothing is foolproof. You can have the piece of paper and the person said, "I don't have my copy, so I don't remember even signing it." You don't? Well, here's your signature, but I don't have my copy. So nothing is foolproof. But you have it on paper, and this was the what we decided upon, and that's the way it is. And I go no further than what was decided upon. So yes, that came from Big Keith. That came from Big Keith, right? Now, this leads into our next meme that we're going to discuss. I don't know what's wrong with the Democrats in the Senate. I don't know what's wrong with the Democrats. I don't know what's wrong with the Democrats in the House. First of all, they cajoled, well, they didn't cajole, they persuaded certain senators, certain Democrats in the House when Tim had the anti-choking bill to scuttle that, and then they come up with their thing, and then, you know, it was going to be dead in the water, and so many people are being abused. Did you see the footage of the little girl that the cop slammed? Her head hit the cement in the high school, and she was out cold. And he was still cuffing her. She's out cold. We're going to be talking about that tomorrow on Truth Thursdays, right? Truth Thursday, right? We're going to be talking about that, right? But I don't. So why am I saying I don't know? Because, you know, I've been into politics for quite a number of years in my life. I believe it's been since I was around 12 years old, watching the results of elections with my mother in front of the television set and listen to the different campaign speeches and all that bull. And so that's a considerable amount of my life. Let's say I'm 12, I'm 49 now. That is 37 years of my life that I have been astute to the politics, right? So now, Rand Paul calls impeachment dead on arrival after most Republicans signal that it is unconstitutional. Let's read that again. Randy Paul, calls impeachment, quote unquote, dead on arrival after most Republicans signal that trial is unconstitutional. All right. My thing is, I think that Chuck Schumer, just my opinion, I think that Chuck Schumer is suffering from some kind of long-term dementia. It's some kind of long-term dementia that Chuck Schumer is suffering from. Now, you remember the Republicans will say, yes, you know, what you're saying, Democrats, sounds good, sounds right, and we are keen and could possibly support it. And then they come down to the vote time, and the Republicans play them every time. The Republicans play them every time with the same method of operation. They play them every single time. I don't understand the Democrats. Like the Republicans were actually going to impeach their meal ticket. I mean, they sit up there. They had the healthcare thing. You know, they had something when early on when Trump was in office, and the Republicans were like, yes, we can agree to this. And then when it came to voting time, the Republicans said no. They constantly say no. They say no to you traitors to a all-white ethno United States. No to you trading politicians on the Democrat side. Why did we jump over to the Republicans? Because you traded off on this being a white ethno state by you going along with civil rights. Now you can go check this, but that is the long and short of it. Let's keep going. Now, check this out. This is an interesting photo. Let me enlarge it just a little, just in case you might not be seeing it. Let me bring it a little bigger so that you can get the full effect of it. Are you getting the full effect of it yet, Tonya? Have you seen what is going? Do you see what the man sees? What's the guy in the hat saying to himself about the man with the one-piece dress on? What's the guy in the hat saying to himself about the man with the one-piece dress on? Now, this can go and become quite provocative. Actually, the answers can range, quite varied and wide. What would you say he is thinking to himself?
What in the hell does he have on?
What in the hell does he have on? Now that's one perspective, but depending on if the man in the hat was diddled as a child, he might be saying, "Oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. It's easy access and everything." He might be thinking of it differently. Like, there are some programs that have been on TV that makes
Possibly.
the backwoods seem like there's some strange things going on. So that was a little distraction. But then here's what someone said about what the Republicans did to the once Republicrats. 5 million is one hell of a voting capital. Don't count on Republican lawmakers going away quietly. 75 million is one hell of a voting capital. Don't count on Republican lawmakers going away quietly. I really don't know. Chuck Schumer has been in the Senate long enough to know that white men speak with forked tongue when it comes to the Republicans, right? That white man speaks with forked tongue. Now, this one comes from DJ LV, right? DJ LV has become concerned about what he's not seeing coming from out of the Biden White House, right? He has become concerned. Now, certain things are like you can have preventive defense. Never worked for the Cleveland Browns. Prevent defense. Never worked. Elway would just destroyed it 2 years in a row. But anyway, but you can think preventive, like my mother used to say as far as healthcare, do it before the doctor tells you to do it, because when the doctor tells you to do it, it's going to be harder because you are set in your ways. Right. Now, black people are being murdered, discriminated against, manipulated, used, and Joe Biden won't sign any emergency declaration to counterattack police or corporate atrocities to people of color. All right? Corporate atrocities to people of color. he has become concerned. We could have told you that just by reading Biden's political promises on his campaign website. We told you that, right? So it was going to be no mystery what we are seeing. Matter of fact, tomorrow that policy that
voice and sing till earth and heaven ring.
Sing it.
That's what we got. Ring with the harmony of liberty. That's
right.
what we got. Lift every voice.
Lift every voice. What we had. Lift every voice. And then in turn, Trump had the Platinum Plan. Both of them are based on songs. One on a Negro spiritual, the Negro anthem, and the other one on modern day hip hop. Platinum Plan. Both of them were offensive. That's why we voted for neither candidate. That was the best to do. Now, here's someone who is becoming more and more in reality. Be careful of what you pray for. 2021 is here. What's the difference other than your delusional thinking, your disillusionment? What's the difference other than your delusional thinking? You see, people are becoming aware, but they're becoming aware a little too late. It's a little too late. Everybody was crying, oh, we got racism out. Well, how could you get a racist out but put a white supremacist in? It's like getting the devil out but putting Lucifer in. It's not illogical. It's illogical. Okay, this next meme right here. In 1947, Congress passed the 22nd Amendment limiting the president to 2 terms. They said too much power for too long is a threat to our freedom. It's time to limit Congress for the same reason. It is time to limit Congress for the same reason. Nancy Pelosi, in my opinion, doesn't know what's going on. Right? She doesn't know what's going on. And then there are people in there who are in their 80s, in their 90s. You know, their retirement age is 67 now. Like, it's time to move on. How much more can you actually get? How much more? You're not going to take it with you, so how much more do you really need? Right? And this is going to hell in a handbasket, and we're sitting there watching it, and we're sitting there saying nothing about the Geritol crew doing whatever they feel that they would like to do because they have not been checked. Right? They have not been checked. Which brings us to our main topic of the day. We went through all the memes. It brings us to our main topic of the day. We're talking about Stock Wednesday, the commodity Afrika. Now, like I said, I always would like to talk to the people who are talking about they're going back to Africa. I mean, like they say, we need to go back because we are Africans displaced in America. 213-943-3358. The phone lines are open. My main question to people is when are you going back to stay? It's one thing to go visit the tourist attraction. Brother. It's another thing. It's another thing when you're going and you're going to stay and you start hearing words like Akada. What is this Akada? What is this Akada doing here? Look. 213-943-3358. Prove me wrong. But we talked about this on the episode that we had. I think it's episode 12. The early episodes, we laid the foundation to the show. And we talked about African love traders, those trading on your love for Africa. While you're talking about you love Africa and you're talking about Pan-Africanism, there are people over there that are profiting off of the commodities that come from out of the ground to put into their holdings. And though you have love, you do not have any stock in those commodities. Well, guess what, people? Guess what? Not only did GameStop, the key is GME, shoot through the roof, shot up another 100% just today on the stocks. The stock market is the most busiest that it has been. We told you get some stock in Blackstone. We told you that. Our faithful watcher, Stuart Elsie, said, get stock in Tesla. I took his advice. Yes, it's rising. While you're sitting looking at the distraction, which is the discussion on the Keystone Pipeline, which will make America a poor country, doesn't mean that you have to be poor within it, because you can invest. All right, let's get started. Smash the share button, smash the like button, because we are taking you there, right? We are taking you there on a journey. Now, there is a new holdings company, right? That's what I want to call it. I'm going to call it a holdings company in Africa, right? And they're telling you, why should you invest? They're asking you the question, why invest in Recon Africa? Look up Recon Africa real quick, Tonya. Recon Africa, right? They're saying, why should you get stock in Recon Africa? Number one, Recon Africa holds exclusive rights to the entire 8.5 million acre Kabango Basin. Kabango Basin. Excuse me if I'm pronouncing this African name of the basin wrong, because I am traditionally bad with African names, Polish names, and forget about the written Russian name. Oh, just forget about it. But the African name and the Polish names, you Pakowski, Manowski, you can forget the ski. The only person I know is Joeski Love. Hey Joe! Look, oh boy, they're clipping us. Oh, we done got on some Recon Africa and they are clipping us. Smash the share button, smash the like button. Recon Africa holds exclusive rights to the entire 8.5 million acre Kabango Basin. Kabango Basin. 2. The Kabango Basin could be among the last undeveloped onshore oil basins in the world. 3. experts say the closest comparison is the Midland Basin in Texas, valued at $540 billion. $540 billion. Number 4, the basin is estimated to have potential for generation of up to 120 billion barrels of oil on just 12% of the property. Let me make sure I'm something that's blocking my view from reading it. Let me bring it up some. Of the property, I'm right. Number 5, fully funded for their current 3-well drill program with results expected in weeks. Why invest in Recon Africa? Because they've got control. They've got control, baby. Now, I know some people dropped off because they don't want to hear this. They want to stay in the romanticism of Africa. And number 6, extremely attractive royalty rates makes Recon Africa a prime acquisition target for majors in the area of the commodity of oil and petroleum. And remember, that petroleum and that oil keeps coming up. We've discussed that in previous weeks. Now, tell us more about Recon Africa.
Well, number one, the thing that stands out to me is I'm looking at the board of directors and officers. I see an Indian, I see 2 Italians, I see a Jew, and the other ones you can't tell by their last names who they are. But the bottom line is there are no black people sitting on the board of directors and officers of Recon Africa. No black people. All right, so so we have that, and is in the Kalahari Desert of northeast Namibia and northeast Botswana, which is where the Kavango Basin is. So it's in the Kalahari Desert of northeast Namibia and northwest Botswana. So it's sitting on those borders. Let's see here. Right now, let's see. And I guess recon is short for reconnaissance. It's short for reconnaissance. Energy Africa Limited. And right now, that's a good, I mean, you should go in and buy that stock now. I'll put it like that. You should go in, you could probably go in and buy at least 100 shares of that stock right now. Probably should do that. But this is, hold on. It's a lot of different things here about this. Recon. Okay, so they have a website. They have a website, reconafrica.com, and they have a technical team, and let's see what else.
Oh, wow. They froze. They froze the situation. What's going on?
Here.
You went out and you clipped out, but you came back in. They do not want people to know about the recon information. So, oh wow, you went back out again and you are out. I don't know what's happening here. What's happening here? But look, people, while we find out why this difficulty is happening, I have a strange idea this is happening. You know, they clipped the information. So let's keep moving forward here. Okay, you're back. You're back, right?
So it's something that they don't want you guys to know. Recon Africa is a good investment opportunity. You should go ahead on and invest in that. I know I am. Let's see. Basically, I think the reason why it's so low to come in on it right now is because they're starting at the beginning. They're still considered the beginning stages of a lot of things, drilling, and everything. They have everything up here though about their plans, the operations update, the Kavango Basin, the academic reports. So actually, this is a stock that you can stay up on through their website as well, which is good. It would keep you from having to hunt around for information. But I'm telling you, if you have a good $100 to invest in something right now, you need to go ahead on and invest in that.
Are they trading on the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange? Or are they in the Shanghai Exchange? Or are they in the African Exchange? Where are they exchanging right now? So people will know, and we need to know the symbol. What is the 3 or 4 letter symbol for this particular stock?
It looks like whatever this market is, it's not the NASDAQ, and it's not, because it doesn't have that symbol. It says Reconnaissance Energy Africa Limited, but it's just showing that as a long name. Oh, RECAF, RECAF. RECAF.
And no telling what exchange it's exchanging on? They don't say?
It just says OTC Markets, OTC MKTS. So look up OTC Markets and see what that is.
So you see, people, we're bringing you into something that is on the ground level. While some of us are talking about we love Africa, how come you don't have stock in the commodities and what you love? Now, let me show you this while my sister is doing more research. All right, look at this. Now, this is what is actually Azania by the African people who live there, Azania, but it is called South Africa. South Africa, right? Now, this might answer your question why all of a sudden there is a strange strand of the virus in South Africa. How come none of the African governments have control of their commodities? They don't have control of the diamonds. They don't have control of the ore. They don't have control of the precious metals. They don't have control of any of it. How could you say that you are truly an African if you do not have control of it? Petroleum exploration license, yellow area, right? Sedimentary basin, pink and orange areas, right? Crystallization basement in outcrop, meaning this is crystallized. These are precious things. I'll use the reggae term, right? Crystalline, right? Basement in outcrop, right? Look, how come you don't have stock in what you say you love? I'm still waiting. 213-943-3358. What are you actually returning home to? You've never actually set foot in Africa other than you were on vacation. Oh, they do not want the delusion broken up on this program. They don't want us to break up the delusion of people. 213-943-3358. But you have to be a truth teller in this. What are you actually running to but more white supremacy? So while remember, what may harm you or help you, you should have stock in that. whatever is harming or hurting the African, you should have stock in that. You should have stock in the titanium. You should have stock in the gold. You should have stock in the silver. You should have stock in Recon Africa. You should have stock in that. You should have stock in Blackstone. Stock in that. Oh, they are just clipping away. You should have stock in that. Look at this. Look at this. They don't have control. Let's look at the secondary companies that are there outside that are profiting from off of what Recon Africa has opened up for them. Let's look at the secondary companies, which we know more by name than them. If you're having trouble getting to Recon Africa, do you have stock in Exxon Mobil? We need these keys, Tonya. Exxon Mobil. Do you have stock in Shell? Those are the two that we know, because those others are hard to make out, 1 and 2. I've never heard of Total, but it's okay. We need that key for Total. The other two I can't really make up. It's Gelp, G-E-L-P, I think, and the other one is definitely unlegible, as small as it is right now. Exxon Mobil and Shell, do you have stock in these companies? You stop at Shell Gas, you stop at Exxon Mobil, and you fill up your tank. They're getting their reserves to fill the whole world with Africa. Now, remember I told you that this is finding a place. Look at poor in the upper parts of Africa where the rift zones are and the lakes are starting to form. They say that soon Africa will be breaking apart like Madagascar. You see all these rift zones create the little lake basins, and soon Africa will be broken up into islands like Madagascar. But anyway, that's just the study of geography. I got A's in geography. But anyway, let's move on. Do you have stock in it? Really? I mean, I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for people who are in that romanticism. I don't know how you could be in romanticism about going back to Africa. Romanticizing. I'm making up words. Romanticizing. You're exercising your brain. You're romanticizing about going back to Africa as a black person, talking about Pan-African, and the African doesn't have control of the land. I am not apologetic to say that. But 213-943-3358. I deal in reality. Not fantasy, but reality. Now let's look closer. This basin, that's nearly the size of the entire country of Switzerland. It is the size of the entire country of Switzerland. So that lets you know exactly how gigantic the continent of Africa actually is, though they paint it on maps as so small than the United States, smaller than the United Kingdom, smaller than Asia, when actually you can fit those countries in comfortably, still have space. Nearly the size of the entire country of Switzerland. And this junior holds the executive rights to this completely untapped basin. This is an untapped basin because usually most of the oil was coming from the northern part of Africa. Egypt, Nigeria. You just go all the west and north was where the oil were coming from, the petroleum was coming from, the iron ore. But this is an untapped basin. Untapped, which would answer a lot of questions why AIDS is running rampant in South Africa. Why there is a move to say that there is a strand of the virus in South Africa. You know, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. But you know, my lying eyes are not lying to me. My ability to deduce, to come to a conclusion, has never been flatline. I will say that. So look, I'm still waiting. I'm waiting. 213-943-3358. 213-943-3358. I'm still waiting for the Africans going back to Africa. What are you going back to Africa for when the Asians are there and the different companies are there that are not? The Indians are there. Everyone is there except for black people. And I've often said we won't be going back as collaborators. We will be going back as colonizers also. Recon Africa has already jumped an incredible 714% in just the last 9 months. 714% in just the last 9 months. And you mean to tell me they are still at a good price point per share to get in on? Unbelievable. What do you have to say?
First of all, Recon Africa is what's called, is part of the OTC markets, and the OTC markets are better known as the pink markets. I'm not quite sure why they chose that color, but the pink open market provides brokers a platform of transparent trading and best execution in any security. There are no financial standards or disclosure requirements. A wide spectrum of companies are traded on this market, including foreign companies that limit their disclosure to the U.S., penny stocks and shells, as well as distressed, delinquent, and dark companies not willing or able to provide information to investors. So in other words, it's a place where you can hide foreign traded stocks and other things that may be questionable that you don't want to give an answer to. But now when you get over into Shell, ExxonMobil and Shell, ExxonMobil key on the New York Stock Exchange is X as in X-ray, O, M as in Mary, ExxonMobil. It is going for $46.14 a share right now. Shell, the key is R, D as in dog, S as in Sam, .A. That stands for Royal Dutch Shell. They are owned by Hague in the Netherlands. So Shell is owned by The Hague in the Netherlands. ExxonMobil, the CEO is from Texas. Shell is coming in at $38.50 a share. So those are still, you can still get in on those. And just to piggyback on what Dee was saying about, going back to Africa, you know what you're going to do when you get over there? Help them not to sell out all their resources to every other people around the world except themselves. See, this is something that I've been noticing since I was younger, starting in my own city. You had black people who owned corner stores and owned things like that. And then the next day, it's a hostile takeover. It's owned by Arabs, you know, and we got a thing about selling out. We got a thing about when somebody comes with a suitcase of money, our eyes get big and we don't think about the residual and we don't think about the long-term growth of something, because I don't know if we just get bored with it and we don't think we can make it grow or whatever, but we're bad about selling out our resource and selling out the things that belong to us. So it's not that we didn't have anything, we keep selling out. So you going back over there, like my brother said, for what you going over there for? You gonna go over there and help them stop selling out? Well, I don't see why you would go over there to do that and you didn't do that here.
You know what? A lot of times that because I was in retail for 15 years, you can't tell your people. We're talking about the consumer base. You can't tell your consumer base the knowledge that you understand or have a middle standard or overstanding to be true, that you have to purchase with your own to make it so that there are trade routes. Routes can be built. It's been abused, lynched, whipped, destroyed out of us. Tulsa, Oklahoma had the deal with China before the United States did, and then once they destroyed it, the United States just picked up the deal with China. This would be a totally different story, but you have to know your information. Now look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. This is a little more information. This company right here, which is a minor in the major players, Recon Africa is a minor in the major players. They scooped up this basin before the major players who usually deal in North Africa and West Africa with the oil reserves and etc., did not initially jump on this, so they jumped on this. So we gave you a little information that way, right? So people look. What we are saying to you, I'm still waiting. 213-943-3358. 213-943-3358. I'm still waiting for those who are going back to Africa. What are you going back to Africa for? When the little girls that are out there hooking, they're going to tell you, they're going to say, hey, look, this man, how is it? You're big American black man, aren't you rich? When the European man comes over, he pays me more than my father makes in a month's time work. In a month's time work to defile myself. And you're coming over here talking about brother. And you're trying to get me to buy something from you. You're coming to try to sell me something about a dead culture, a dead people. Tell me, 213-943-3358, when are you heading back to Africa, and what are you heading back to Africa for, and what are you heading back to Africa to? Being American black, what we are and who we are and what we have done is enough. And so while we are here in this nation where they're going to let in they're going to naturalize 11,000 dreamers. They're going to let in 90,000 refugees a year under Biden. They're going to let in 500,000 Indians from India. While they are taking jobs, you need to have stock in India. You need to have stock in their countries to save on sending that money back to help your gross national product. I can get a piece of that, and it is cool because I am working in the stock market. Come on, people. We got to rearrange the way that we think. What may harm you or help you, you should have stock in. Anything that you go and you spend money on, you should have stock in, so you're getting a return. you love Africa so much, make sure you have stock in those commodities. Make sure you have stock in those oil companies that have been profiting off of the richness of Africa for centuries.
Let me tell them how much the Recon Africa stock is going for right now. Right now, the Recon Africa stock is going for $3.09 a share. $3.09 a share.
Okay, they had clipped you. Say it again. Say it again.
It is going for $3.09 per share.
Did we just bring you a unrealized stock option for you? They are clipping us. They do not want people to know that. They do not want blacks. They don't want American blacks to know this. This is where the rubber hits the road. All that other shit is fictitious. Oh, we're going to get together. Well, where's your army? Where's your army to get together, black man? They're getting ready to release the Black Messiah, Judas and the Black Messiah. They're getting ready to release that. You're still talking that same bullshit from back in the 60s. This is 2021. Where is your portfolio? So you can pass something down to your kids. Did you even get stock in the casket companies that we talked about last week? We're going to put these shows together so that you can binge watch them, right? You can binge listen to them on Stitcher, on Google Podcasts, and on TuneIn. We have the links in the You Found the Spot group page on FB. You can go there. We're going to put them all together. I'm going to put them all together in a post so you can go back through, because we have been dropping straight stock information to you. $3.09. That's ground level. That is going but no place but up. Did we not bring one to you today? Did we not bring one to you today? You best get on this. $3.09 a share. That's $100. That's $309. Am I right about that? Am I calculating it right? 309 shares?
You have $309. $309.
$309. Right? That's 100 shares. You got 100 shares.
And let me say this.
No. Wait a minute. You say, what you say now? 100 shares.
100 shares.
$309. That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So you're getting 100 shares. You can't beat that with a bat. Come on, man. I'm still waiting, though. I'm waiting for y'all niggas. Not to mention that the Hondurans are headed towards because of Biden's mouth. He doesn't know what he's doing in there. You didn't listen to us about Biden. You best listen to us about stocking up. So you don't have to be out there panhandling, talking about, can you help me bury my son? Can you help me? Have insurance on your children. Have insurance on yourself. Like have stock, have a portfolio to be able to pass down riches and not pass down debt.
A headache.
Stop thinking you're supposed to be a heaven sent to your children in the end, not a burden. Not a burden because you were not prepared. Can we please, as a group of people in America, American blacks, can we please catch up to what others have been doing in the continent of Africa for centuries. Can we at least catch up now? Most of us don't want to even see the continent. They don't want to see it. It's a 17-hour plane ride. What are we going to do for 17 hours? Got to go over to England. Got to go get some shots. Got to do all that. We don't even want to see that. We don't even want to get the vaccine now. We got to get some vaccine to go over there. But others don't even want to see it. It's not just for that reason. Just wasn't interested. Want to see Jamaica or something like that. But Hawaii or something like that. So half of us don't even want to see it anyway. But you can have stock in it and put a poster up on the wall right here in South Africa right now. I made my first $1 million and I never stepped foot in that mother. But 213-943-3358. When you get over to Africa, American blacks that think you're African, what are you gonna do over there? Like, where's your army? Like, what are you planning on doing? You're poor. You think they're gonna help you? They can't even help themselves.
You know, I want to say a couple of things. Now, for those of you who, this is both to the ones who are doing fairly well financially and the ones who may not be doing not be doing so well. Yeah, this is our mug. I have water in mine and a nice red straw to compensate, to complement the ring around the spot. These are available. All right, support the cause. Now, there tends to be a mindset amongst black people who are just like stuck in a certain mind frame. You're just on the wheel. You're on the hamster's wheel. We get along. I go to work every day. I make my pay. Oh, goody. They gave me a 5% raise this year. Oh, goody. They gave me 20% this year or whatever. So we going to work, and for those who don't have a lot, every once in a while we'll go, and I'm saying we because I've been on both sides of the coin. We'll go and afford ourselves, things that really is outside of our range because we want to feel like we're working for something, right? But what's wrong with that mentality is that if you can't keep up if you can't stay consistent, like if that's like buying an iPhone and you on the bus. You went or you're paying a payment plan for the iPhone, whatever the latest one is, the 12, whatever the latest one is, that's over $1,000. You didn't went on a payment plan to pay for a phone, but you ride the bus because you can't afford a car. You see how silly that is? So it's the same thing as going to get a particular type of purse or whatever, a particular type of shoe or whatever, and you can't maintain it. So you got on a rainbow outfit with some red bottom shoes. You see how off that is? It's a mentality where you could have taken the median between those two items and invested it. Why? Because if you only have so much money to go around, then you shouldn't spend it on something you can't pack in a casket with you and let it go with you when you go, right? You can't pack it in the casket. You can't leave it with nobody. I wear size 12 wide shoes, so most of the time, I can't leave it for nobody. They can give it to the Salvation Army or whatever, and somebody might come in with that shoe size. But for anyone that's in my family that I would want to leave something to, that's not going to benefit them a lot, right? So we got to start thinking different. There is no place you are that you can't start thinking different. You may just have to move some things around. How about not investing so much in things that don't matter? Because, baby, at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you, the state that this world is in now, it ain't going to matter if you got on red bottoms or whatever you got on. It don't matter if you carrying Coach. Ain't none of that stuff going to matter. Let me tell you something. I got this purse.
Let me interrupt real quick before you continue. Now remember, when they say invest, we don't want to confuse the people, because people usually say invest, so you have to be clear. And so I'll say this as a preface, as an insert, that when we're saying invest, you're taking your money and you're investing it in something that makes you a consumer. But you're not taking your money and investing it in a stock that makes you a owner. So be clear. So when you say, when you invest in some red bottoms, and as you're walking, the red bottom gets scuffed all up. I saw that on one of those shows. The dude had on some red bottoms and they were black. He had some black scuffs on them. I said, oh, they're no longer red bottoms. They're worth nothing. As soon as they get the first black scuffs from being walking, that's like buying a pair of Jordans and you're just walking down the street in Jordans, and it's supposed to be a court shoe for blacktop or for the court in the gym with the soft gym court, right? You invested in something as a consumer, but you're not taking the same amount of money and investing in something to make you an owner that over time will lift you. And they're clipping me over this. I can't believe this. That will make your family appreciate you even more and love you more and say that my father or my mother or my grandmother or my grandfather knew what he or she were doing, and we are, though we had generations where we were poor and the way the system was set up to make us perpetually poor, but the stock market is open for everyone, and we here at hashtag Observations TFR on Stock Wednesday, we come to rearrange your brain, free your mind, and your ass will follow. Doom, 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 doom. Get some stocks and watch you fly, baby. Fly with me, fly, fly away. Won't you fly with me to Acapulco? And or you ever going that on just the change? Oh, let me take a few dollars
just to change.
Anyway, so go ahead. I just wanted to insert that real quick so people would have a understanding, middle standing, and overstanding of what you're saying when you're saying invest in something to make you a consumer versus investing in something that makes you an owner.
Thank you for clarifying that, because again, we go back to comprehension. So if it's not clarified, then maybe the comprehension won't be as good. So I was going into this. So this is a purse. Looks pretty good, huh? Got that crocodile look, you know. I like crocodile. Nice fringe effect here. Came with a matching wallet. You know, I get plenty of compliments on this purse. I was going through the airport and oh, I really like that purse. How many compliments did I get on that purse? Because it's the style of the purse. You make the style. The style don't make you. That purse was $10. You know, I like getting things that have the look, and you can say, some people might see it one way. They might say, well, you buying, fake leather purses. I don't care what you say. The purse look good with me because I make the purse. My personality, my larger than life personality makes the purse. So it wouldn't have mattered if I was carrying that one or one that was $1,000 purse. It's the personality that's going to make the purse even greater than it is, right? So therefore, I don't have to waste money. Now, if that's your thing, that's your thing. I'm not knocking you. Don't get it twisted. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But I personally, it's not my thing. I spend my money on music equipment, like my keyboard back here, or my workstation up here in front of me with my my MIDI controller that so that's where I spend my money. So everybody spends their money where they want to spend their money. However, you want to spend those things that I just showed you, those things can in turn make me money, and they do. They in turn make me money. I can use those things. Those are tools of my creativity that I expand on my creativity that make me money. So a coach person is not going to make me no money unless I sell it secondhand on Craigslist or something. All right. So I said all that to say is that if you're a person that is not working with a lot right now, then move things around. How come you don't have to eat out 4 times a week? You can take 3 days of that money, find something to invest in. Go to Acorns, go to the other little one that I'm on. There's several that's just online only that you can go to that you can invest in. Let me see if I can find this. I want to tell you what it is. Oh, Robinhood. You can go to Robinhood. You can go to Acorns and start investing in any of these things that we tell you about on here. You should be able to find on those platforms. Now, just for those of you who are not familiar with the terminology, begin to educate yourself, because guess what? I used to hear in Christian circles a lot. You hear, a lot when you have the people come through and they're on the prosperity gospel, the prosperity doctrine, that, we're going to be millionaires. Well, everybody's not going to be a millionaire. Here's why. God is not going to allow everybody to be a millionaire, because everybody does not have a millionaire mentality. Millionaires have a mentality. There's a mentality. You're not going to just get money because you're not going to be able to maintain money. And God does not drop blessings that's going to cause him or you to be embarrassed. If you believe that you're going to be a millionaire, you're believing for money, then educate yourself like a millionaire. What is a mutual fund? What is a portfolio? What is a commodity? We just gave you the term of that. So a portfolio then is a collection of financial investments like stocks, which we've been talking about, bonds. You can learn about that from your banks, or up on everything's on Google now. Commodities, which we just told you about, cash equivalent. What is a cash equivalent? Something that can be marked as cash and it's not cash. Now, what might that be? Go look it up. Go look up what a cash equivalent is. It's going to tell you, including closed-end funds and exchange-traded funds. People generally believe that stocks, bonds, and cash comprise the core of a portfolio, but they just told you that closed-end funds and exchange-traded funds also, and not only that, real estate as well. I am more prone to land acquisition, not real estate acquisition. You got to keep that up. That ends up being a cash drain. If you know people who own apartment buildings and stuff like that, they wind up being drained from those things if they're not good buildings and good places, and if we're speaking on particular levels, you're not going to be able to buy billion-dollar buildings, million-dollar buildings. So if you're talking about a little apartment building in the hood that's an 8-suiter that you got to keep up the plumbing and all that on, that's not a good investment, because it's going to drain you. But you might want to find out how much the land is that's on that and approach the city about buying it. So all those things together compose a portfolio. Get in that mindset.
Yes, people. Did we bring one to you today? Recon Africa. Recon Africa, right? Let me go right here real quick. That's right, people. Take your QR code and scan this QR code. Quickly now, or just come back on the playback and scan this QR code. For those who are listening on Stitcher, on Google Podcasts, or on TuneIn, just go over to You Found the Spot on a group page on FB, and you can scan it there and purchase our steadfasting shirt. Steadfasting shirt. Purchase our steadfasting shirt. You will thank yourself because it is the move, the future move. I stay steadfast to my goals, humble to kneel and pray while preparing my body for the journey ahead. I am, therefore I am. And what we talk about on the show Monday through Friday is about a God space in your head where you say, I am, therefore I am. And you stop thinking and speaking like the downtrodden and speak like I am, therefore I am, right? So as we close, we referenced this at the top of the show, but you know, the Recon Africa is really the most important thing, you know, because this stock is already established, right? And it's up, and they've been making a big deal over it. GameStop jumps at 100%, even as hedge funds cover short bets, scrutiny of rally intensifies. Scrutiny of rally intensifies, right? So they are intensifying their scrutiny on the rally because they're saying sooner or later this is going to level off. That's cool. But you know what? You know what's up and coming at $3.09 in the pink open market? The Recon Africa, $3.09 a stock. Get in that. ExxonMobil, $46.14. Shell, $38.50 a share. XOM on the stock market. Shell is RDS.A on the stock market. That's the key, right? The Recon Africa is RECAF. Get in on these stocks. We bring this to you. Did we not bring one to you today? Did we not bring a show to you today? We appreciate coming to you Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday on the platforms that you are watching us, replays on Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and Tune In. Just Google hashtag, you found the spot, and the podcast come up and you click there and you can binge watch. I want to put together this section of new shows in 2021. January 4th we started, right? And we have been burning up the track, disseminating information. We are giving, if you didn't know, we're not complaining. We're not saying, oh, woe is me, this is happening, Joe Biden and them aren't doing that. We talk about that, but we give solutions. You want to be ahead? You want to be on top of the game? You want to be independently okay. Now, I don't know if it's something like Tonya says, some people aren't built to be millionaires, but you could be independently okay.
Yes, you can.
Everyone can be independently okay. If you're looking just for work to do it, they're coming to take the jobs. Sorry, this has always been the game to make the American black third, fourth, fifth class citizen. We're going to be talking about the policy that Biden signed yesterday, talking about something, I forget, but we what's the name, Rice, came up during the press conference, and we're going to play her piece tomorrow on Truth Thursdays and break down her flawed phraseology, right? Her flawed phraseology. right? Now, a lot of people are saying that Biden has signed to end for-profit prisons. Correction. He signed to end for-profit prisons on the federal level. That was the game with the Democrats' bill in the House as far as the anti-choke bill for George Floyd versus the bill in the Senate for Tim Scott. Tim Scott's bill dealt with moving into the states and pushing the states. Theirs was only on the federal level. You've got to understand what's happening. So for-profit prisons still exist on the state level because segregationist believes in states' rights. I'm sorry that I have to give you this information. Like, you can't really, like some of us can't really think this out and have a understanding, middle standing, overstanding of what type of racist you were dealing with or what you're dealing with. A successionist is a states' rights person. So everything that's signed is pulling back on the federal level, but the state is where you're at, where you're going to get your head beat. Become independently all right. Take your money that you have while you have a job now and invest in stocks. You will thank yourself later. Your family will thank you later. Your family will thank granddad, grandma, mom, dad, cousin, aunt. They will thank you for not purchasing something for them that is something that makes them not only a consumer, but you too. But you invest in something that will, in the long run, see them independently okay. If not, if the lights click on, independently wealthy in the long run. If you have a 16, 17, 18-year-old, get them some stock. Teach them how to play. I remember back in high school, we were sitting in a class. I forget what class it was. Besides the English class, it was a secondary English class that was for creative writing, because there was the English class, I was taking that, and I was taking a creative writing class. And the dude was looking at the newspaper, at the stocks, and he was talking about how he and his father had picked things out. This is back in high school. Get your kids ready. Anything that can harm or help you, you should have stock in. Anything that you purchase, you should have stock in. And so, that's it. We got 11 minutes left. We're going to close out early today. Listen, people, we appreciate coming to you, right? Monday through Friday. Tomorrow is Truth Thursday. So it's jam-packed, so you got to tune in because we're going to break that down like what we said. And we're going to talk about more memes, memes that mean something. We take a trip every time. Tell your friends that we are on 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. When you tune in, it is never a waste of your time. If you hear something that you don't too much like because your mind is set on one thing, become open-minded and stick for a while, and you will thank yourself, because we bring information that one day is potential to save your life. Hashtag Observations TFR. I'm Crazy D, and In the frame right here is my special guest host, my sister Tonya M. Congress. And guess what, people? Guess what? We will see you 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. tomorrow on Thursday for Truth Thursdays. But right now, we say we're out.
Here's the thing about your movie, why I made a curator's pick of the Hollywood Fringe Festival. Community, heart,
Observations TFR, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday.